the awful bile so she'd be a puppet the great beast could control at will, like Meilin? Abeke struggled to keep her composure, but when she thought of that day at Mulop's grotto, frightening images passed through her mind. Meilin's fingers tight on her arm, digging to the bone as she cruelly hauled her down to the rocky beach, fighting to get free, only to see Meilin's quarterstaff come smashing down hard against her skull. The world fading from view. "Our stronghold?" Abeke said, swallowing back the memory. "Whose was it before the conquerors took it over?"
"It's a palace of one of the lords of the Niloan steppes," Shane said with another sigh. "Listen, I'm not proud that we've taken over someone's home. The lord is still alive, and I'm doing my best to make sure the Niloans who work and live here are kept safe and have enough to eat. I'm trying to make the best of this situation." Abeke crossed her arms and frowned at him. "Please come easily with me now, Abeke," Shane said, eyes downcast. "For your sake, and Meilin's." Abeke glanced at Meilin, who nodded imperceptibly. If Shane was the closest they had to an ally, best to keep him on their side while they got as much information as they could.
"Yes," Abeke said. "We'll submit, Shane. Lead the way." The ship's ladder was difficult to navigate with chained ankles. Abeke went up a rung, waited until Meilin was right behind her, then took another step. Finally, they broke outside. It was overcast, at least, but still the light was blinding. The moment she hit daylight, Abeke had to scrunch her eyes shut, tears streaming down her face. Shane was there waiting, and with strong hands pulled Abeke and Meilin from the last rung so they were sitting on the deck. Only slowly did Abeke's eyes adjust. The moment they did, she gasped. On deck was a score of conquerors, loading up a skiff to head to shore. The soldiers wore a uniform of simple leather armor, with breastplates rubbed black with oil. This armor wasn't ceremonial. It was made for unencumbered fighting. "It's for fighting Niloans," Abeke thought bitterly. "Fighting people who are defending their homes." Zerif was there, not a foot away, the man who had once tricked Abeke into thinking she was joining the side of good. He still had the same handsome, severely lined face and tight-cropped beard. Beside him was a slender woman Abeke hadn't seen since her time in the north, Adana, Rollan's mother. Though she was unchained, she looked a bit like a prisoner herself, with a gaunt face and exhausted eyes. For the first time, Abeke was relieved that Rollan wasn't near. Seeing his mother in such a wretched state might have destroyed him. That wasn't all, though. Next to Adana was a girl Abeke didn't recognize. She was tall and pale, with large eyes and a sly, curving smile. The girl wore a suit of black leather, banded with strips of ivory, carved to look like spider legs. She cut her gaze to Abeke and Meilin, then to Shane, her lips barely moving as she spoke. "These are the moths you've worked so hard to net, brother? I'm disappointed." Brother? Abeke took in the girl's sharp jaw, her high cheekbones and thick white blonde hair, and saw the resemblance. This girl was one of the marked, too. A spider, as large as a seagull, was perched on her shoulder. Banded in yellow, its swollen abdomen declared that it was venomous. For a moment, Shane seemed taken aback by his sister's words, but when he spoke, his voice was mocking. "Drina, want to tell us again about your many times losing to the keeper of Greenhaven? Or would you prefer not to talk about it?" Shane had drawn blood. Now it was Drina's turn to look wounded, though when she noticed Zerif watching, her face hardened, turned scoffing. Abeke sensed that this conversation between siblings would have gone differently if Zerif hadn't been there. "Enough!" Zerif barked, right as Drina opened her mouth to retort. "Victory in Nilo is almost at hand. There is no need to squabble like children." Abeke risked a glance at Meilin. Dissension among the conquerors might be something that they could use to their advantage. But Meilin sat still on the deck, palms open on her knees, eyes shut, taking in nothing. The four conquerors, Shane, Zerif, Adana, and Drina, stared down at Abeke and Meilin. As they did, the sun emerged from behind its clouds, and in the sudden light Abeke couldn't make out their faces.